Okay, so this week's Raw was the go-home Raw for Summerslam. Initially begins with a match where it's Daniel Bryan versus Wade Barrett, with Brad Maddox, or the young Colonel Sanders, as the special guest referee. Quick count, 1, 2, 3, Daniel Bryan loses. Later on in the evening, Vince McMahon calls out Brad Maddox, and it's like, you really didn't do a very good job. Brad talks about how he should be a guest referee again, wants to be in the main event for Daniel Bryan, John Cena. Triple H comes out, and Morales like, no, I think I should be the special guest referee. Pedigrees Maddox, so he's your special guest referee. John Cena and Daniel Bryan were on Miz TV. To be honest, The Miz really didn't say much, so it's kind of like they put set pieces and had The Miz stand in the background, because he, of course, is the host of SummerSlam this year. Daniel Bryan, again, solid promo about how he is a wrestler. And he wants to win to prove that he is the best wrestler. John Cena did one of those, yeah, it's the same old song and dance everyone else has said, but for 12 years, I've busted my backside. I've done this. And I am an 11-time champion. Which is weird because when John Cena cuts a serious promo without the weird, like, poopy humor, he is a very good guy on the mic. And he cut this really fantastic, about how he does the Make-A-Wish thing, and he's given this hope and this, aspirations to people that are dying and their young kids. Daniel Bryan brought it right back, hey, you know what? And then John Cena was talking about how he's beaten people like The Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Batista, Orton, CM Punk. And Daniel Bryan's like, yeah, but my name's not on that list. And Cena's like, your name's not worthy enough to be on that list. So, great dynamic there. I think those two should have a fantastic match. I really would love to see Daniel Bryan win this one. If for nothing else, Daniel Bryan wins this and defeats John Cena, it'll do great things for the E in the years to come. If John Cena beats him, it does nothing. John Cena defeating Daniel Bryan does nothing for John Cena. Daniel Bryan defeating John Cena is huge. Now, if John Cena does win and does retain, I want to see Orton cash in, and I want to see Orton lay out John Cena become champion. If Daniel Bryan wins at the same time, I think Orton cashing it in and beating Daniel Bryan, that makes for automatic matches. If John Cena wins, what's he going to do? Is he going to feud with Orton over the title? Everyone they put against John Cena, he's beaten. There really is no spot for John Cena to go. That's the problem with them building up guys over the course of a couple of months, then John Cena just trashes them. They also did quite a few other matches that were kind of weird. AJ and Big E took on Natalya and the Great Khali. And this match had a really bizarre ending to it. And it wasn't because Big E and Khali were in the ring. Natalya has AJ in the sharpshooter. AJ taps. The referee doesn't call for the bell. The referee must be looking someplace else. They then essentially do the spot kind of over again on live TV. And that was their kind of warm-up for their match where it's AJ and Big E versus Ziggler and Caitlyn. This match to me just seems like it's going to be one of the most bizarre matches to try to watch. Caitlyn has got a high win percentage over AJ recently. Big E has beaten Dolph quite a few times. This match really seems like it's a toss-up. And it seems like that storyline is really wearing thin right now. Del Rio took on Kofi Kingston. Their match had a really good beginning, got kind of weird and slow and sloppy in the middle, and then ended really well, with Del Rio getting the submission victory. Now the match that is Christian versus Del Rio, Christian pushing a one more match angle, be great to see him win. However, he's beaten Del Rio twice in singles matches. And he beat Del Rio to win his first title, his first major championship run in the E, with Edge's help. So it'd be great to see him beat Del Rio again and have it be like, you know what the problem is? Del Rio can't beat Christian. And that could be a really unique storyline. But that would actually work very well. Also, Sandow took on Orton for like the 19th time in as many wrestling events. With Cody providing some distraction, RKO by Orton. So I do think that the match between Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow, they're going to put a lot into that match, and they're going to have to. This is the feud that's going to make either just Sandow or both Sandow and Rhodes. I like that to be a really, really entertaining and a very fantastic match. I also look for Sandow to lose. Because if you see Sandow lose, you'll think he'll cash in later. I think that's just going to be a really competitive match. Kane fought Titus O'Neil and just destroyed him. Wyatt family came out. Kane avoided them entirely. And their match will be a Ring of Fire match between Bray Wyatt and Kane. Kane has got some slight nagging injuries that he's wanted to take some time off with. Bray Wyatt probably isn't going to lose his debut match. That match should be sick. Rather for Bray Wyatt to win that. What else do we have for matches? Oh. Curtis Axel? No, he didn't do anything. It does appear that Natalya is going to take on Brie Bella, but the Funkadactyls will be in Natalya's corner, and she's taking on Brie. He's taking on Brie, so Nikki and Ava Marie are going to be in Brie's corner. Oh. I'd love to see Natalya just destroy her. Ironically, as far as they couldn't throw JoJo in there somewhere to make sure that all the Total Divas were fully involved in SummerSlam. They also did a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal. I'll just tell you that for the last three people, you had Ryback, Mark Henry, Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam won. The winner of that match got to take on, are you ready? Gets to take on Dean Ambrose for the United States Championship at SummerSlam pre-show. Earlier in the night, the Shield cut a really great promo talking about Dean Ambrose talking about how he is the best wrestler in the world. And that there's no one big enough or strong enough to challenge Rollins and Reigns. So, you've got Rob Van Dam eliminates Mark Henry. Mark Henry goes back in the ring, gives him a fist bump, good job. Shield comes down to the ring, so you've got Henry and Rob Van Dam, Shield circling. Then the Big Show comes down. So hopefully we're going to see, for the pre-show, Rob Van Dam take on Dean Ambrose. And knowing how Rob can take a head bump, I think that the DDT finisher that Ambrose has, Rob's going to make that look sick. Just ridiculously sick. I think that a match between Big Show and Henry versus Rollins and Reigns, another great looking match. I don't picture those titles changing hands. I just don't. I think the Shield has still got enough going for them that I don't picture them losing the titles just yet. And the Real Americans had their third match with the Usos. These two teams actually have really great chemistry. The end came where one of the Usos went up to the top rope to go for the big splash. Cesaro was trying to knock him off the apron. Other Uso super kicked through his brother's legs to hit Antonio off the apron. Quick tag, hop into the ring, do a roll up on Swagger, 1, 2, 3. Great match, worked well, beautiful match. And now we're up to the CM Punk Paul Heyman match. As you can kind of tell, it actually being a handicap match where it was Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman versus CM Punk. CM Punk sneaks into the crowd, grabs a camera, lays out Brock Lesnar, goes chasing after Heyman. Curtis Axel shows up. Curtis Axel gets GTS on the stage. Paul Heyman's nowhere to be seen. Raw goes off the air. How do I picture the match between the Best versus the Beast? To be honest, Lesnar really hasn't had a winning feud since he came back to the E. That's a really sad connotation. He hasn't had a really successful run. I would like to see Brock Lesnar defeat CM Punk, and here's why. I think that if Lesnar defeats Punk, what it then allows them to do is Punk and Curtis Axel. It allows Punk to absolutely dismantle Curtis Axel. Repeatedly. And in doing that, it's going to force Paul Heyman to either, one, enlist somebody else. Somebody like a Wade Barrett. It'll allow him the ability to grow one or two more people in a stable just for the purpose of fighting Punk. And Punk will make them look good. And it'll eventually lead down to him having to bring Brock Lesnar back for a rematch between those two, which CM Punk can win and then get his hands on Heyman. This is one of those things I think you can draw this out long enough, and Heyman can make enough guys in a short run that they'll actually become serious contenders.